Hello guys, and welcome back to another reaction video. Today we are doing Mah-Dry Bread's Pokemon Emerald. Can I beat Pokemon Emerald only using normal type moves? As you can see, we have here the camera here instead of up here. Usually I record this up here, but um, I think I must prefer here. So yeah, we're gonna hop into the video right about now.
Mostly on the team to pick up stuff because they have the pickup ability, and it's wonderful. While I'm in the woods, I make sure to catch a slack
I'm gonna slack off.
It's really weak now, and
But it's gonna be but you're gonna have trouble with Truant though. Truant can be hard.
don't know if I'll ever bother turning it into a slacking since it has Truant, but evolving it into Vigoroth and keeping it there might be worth it. Last before the rock gym, I went to the cave north of town to catch a Whisper. These guys learned some pretty good normal moves, so it's going to be cool to finally get to use one of these and actually evolve it. Plus, it learns Screech eventually, and that'll be nice. This is when the grind really begins, though. I decided that the main Pokemon I want to train up for this fight is a Zigzagoon, since they learn Headbutt super early and is the best normal move that we can learn right now. Not only does it do the most damage, but it has a flinch chance on it. It's pretty slow to grind here, but we're gonna have to for at least a little while. At level 18, I gave the Rock Gym a try and quickly realized that this isn't going to work without either a lot more grinding or more trained up Pokemon. We weren't even able to take down the first Geodude thanks to our potions. Defense Curl really weakens our headbutts, and although the occasional flinch is nice, it's not exactly...
How about like Leer? Like, but Leer it's not gonna work on a Geodude because it has defense curls. Leer will lower it, but it will be stopped by Geodude's defense curls, which raises its defense. So Leer might be useless for this battle.
Saving us. Our second strongest Pokemon was Mudkip, but he's only level 10 and uses Tackle, so he couldn't really do anything. I decided I'd get Zigzagoon to level 20 to evolve it, then get Whismur up to at least level 15. I'm skeptical about if that's going to be enough, but we don't really have many choices right now. Alright, I'm gonna need you to prepare yourself on this one, because my next try on the Roxanne fight was hilariously lucky. I'm not even gonna pretend I earned this. On her first Geodude, we made her flinch with 2 headbutts in a row, not only getting us to waste one of her potions, but taking her down without getting hit.
That's luck.
Then, on the second Geodude, it goes for Rock Tomb twice, missing both times before going down. Last was Nosepass, who instantly missed a Rock Tomb, but managed to land a second one. She ate a berry to heal a little bit, but our next headbutt flinched her again, so she lost a turn. She hit us with one last Rock Tomb before we landed the final hit. I know Rock Tomb misses a lot, but that was incredible.
That was pure luck.
With that done, we go straight to Dewford to grab the Silk Scarf. It's a held item that makes our normal moves 10% stronger in Gen 3, so it's going to be a pretty important item for squeezing a bit more power out of our moves. The local gym is the fighting one, though, and I don't think we're ready for it yet, so I go ahead to Slateport and fight every trainer I can prepare.
Oh no, normal type move. This is gonna be tough, though. Because they're all super... Because I think he's gonna use normal type Pokemon for normal type moves. So, and also I didn't bring water. But that's fine, we're gonna continue doing the reaction.
Let's just hope this is enough. Fighting gym time. I was pretty worried about this one because of how hard Vital Throw hits, but thanks to the Silk Scarf, our headbutts did incredible amounts of damage, so the fight really wasn't that bad at all. Before we can make progress, we have another rival fight. It was super easy though. Despite the small level lead, Headbutt just destroys his whole team. Now, before we can try the Electric Gym, I decided to try and take out the trainers in the area. Steel types are always going to be a problem in this run, and I know that the gym leader has a Magneton. We're also likely to get paralyzed since some of his team has the ability Static. Return isn't until after this gym too, so our move choice is pretty limited. I mean, we don't really learn anything good until Vigoroth at level 31, and none of our Pokemon are that high a level, so grinding is pretty much required. At the Electric Gym, Watson's first 2 Pokemon went down in 1 hit each from Headbutt, then it was out to Magneton. Right away we hit a Tail Whip, but got paralyzed off Thunder Wave, so it was looking rough. We ended up trading attacks for a little while until we took him down, but we're in red health, so we switched to Loudred for Magnetric. He started with
Okay.
Howl for some reason, so I just started with Outrage. It did alright damage, but Magnetric's Shockwave took us down fast. I sent Vigoroth out next to use Yawn. We got paralyzed
Yana.
early on, but managed to Encore Thunderwave just before he fell asleep. It ended before he woke up though, so I just went for a scratch and another Yawn as he woke up, although we fainted soon after. As Magnetric fainted, we switched into our nearly fainted Linoon to land a few headbutts for the win. I wasn't sure I was going to win that one. Also, oh my god, I don't know if my throat's gonna win this one. Do you hear this? It's getting so hoarse all of a sudden. Alright, lots of travel up next.
Okay.
The next major battle is the first Maxi fight, but there's a lot of trainers between here and there. Normally if I'm gonna skip trainers in an Emerald challenge, this is around where I'd start, but in multiple Pokemon runs you actually require a lot more experience. We're trying to keep multiple Pokemon strong enough to be useful while still having a handicap after all, so it requires more experience than you'd typically need in a regular playthrough. Oh, that reminds me. I was talking a few weeks ago about how I got a new emulator for these runs. Well, this one has auto-fire buttons, so instead of mashing the A or B button to skip through long dialogue or to get through grinding, I can hold a button instead. It's hardly any faster, but honestly after 2.5 years of doing these Pokemon challenges, I gotta start worrying about the health of my hands. I mean, the A button on my controller is pretty much destroyed from grinding, so just think about what damage that must be doing to the joints in my thumb. An auto-fire button seems like a sensible solution, especially since it doesn't change the difficulty of the run at all. Anyway, Maxi time. Mightyena is first, so our attack is cut due to Intimidate right from the start. Thanks to that and him using a super potion, we lost almost half of our health and got Sand Attack before he went down.
Headbutt
So
is
we switched
useful.
to Loudred to deal with Zubat. Loudred can't be affected by sound-based moves, so Zubat doesn't use the Super Sun.
It has a
We took him down with
Loudred. I think the Whisper line has an ability that makes it soundproof, so it's useful for like Zubat for like sound-based moves.
Last was Camerupt, so we hit it with Yawn before Vigoroth lost half her health with Magnitude. Thankfully, we have Slack Off, so we used it to keep us healthy until he fell asleep, then used Scratch till we took him down. It took a while thanks to potions, but it wasn't too bad. Great combo. Right after that is the Fire Gym. First was Numel and Slugma, who were both one-shots. After that was Camerupt, who only took 2 headbutts but did tons of damage to Linoon with Overheat. Linoon? I still don't know if I get that right. Last was Torkoal, and we got lucky with a flinch on the first round, but went down on the second. Out to Vigoroth for Yawn, and Torkoal started a Sunny Day, so we uncored her to make sure that she can't hit us. We started scratching, but it really wasn't doing much. Right when we were about to win, she fully healed with a Hyper Potion, so we had to put her to sleep again. We actually managed to, thanks to Encore lasting so long, but it still didn't save us, as she eventually woke up and used Overheat during the harsh sun to one-shot us. Our last trained Pokemon is Loudred, so we sent him out used Supersonic, but he just went down in one hit too. Okay, I still think this is pretty possible. I come back.
Is this the effects of the? It's not Sunny Day because it boosts fire type moves. It has to be those like status moves that raises those status moves. It's useful, but it can be deadly sometimes.
Back just a few levels higher. This time, Camerupt never landed a hit thanks to it just using Sunny Day. First against Torkoal, we confused it with Supersonic from Loudred, and then started using Pound. We got lucky with quite a few hits from Confusion, but we still obviously went down. I was just trying to bait out Overheat so that we could get her to waste her White Herb. Next we sent in Linoon to spam Headbutt. We ended up getting paralyzed on her first Body Slam though, because of course we did. After that she used Overheat, lowering her special attack but finishing us off. Last was Vigoroth, so I yawned, then got paralyzed on Body Slam again. We lucked out though and managed to hit a critical slash on the next round for a knockout. Now, next...
It's tough, you know. Like, I think this is second or third try. This is what the consequence of a status move, of us raising a status move. It's
Next up we have to go
dangerous.
back to the start of the game for the normal gym, but on my way I thought I would take the root fossil. I knew that if I didn't say what I took, you'd all ask. Actually, now that I think about it, everyone ask anyway. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm.
okay. Make and also comment here as well. The YouTube algorithm needs it. It's part of the YouTube algorithm. Okay.
Okay, I took the footage for this fossil gag from a different one of my challenges. Look, I'm busy. I gotta go catch something. So while we were in the area of the normal gym, I decided to catch another slack off. Our Vigoroth is awesome, and his moves are really fun, but I don't think I ever want to evolve him into a slacking, so I'm catching another one. This one's job is just to wear the experience share and become a slacking one day. Then we'll give him Return and a Silk Scarf, and use him to take down especially tanky targets. He'll have the Truant ability, so he won't get to act every other turn, but when he does hit, he's gonna hit like a freight train. Alright, normal gym time. Spinda was first, but it only did a bit of damage before going down to 2 slack.
It's normal versus normal. Let's see who has the superior normal types. Or normal moves. Slacking is actually one of the highest non-legendary Pokemon. Search it up. Slacking. It has the base stat total of 670, which is higher than a legendary. No, not higher. Like the same as like Groudon and Kyogre. So it's on the legendary level.
Lashes. Second was slacking, so right away we yawned as he blew his first turn using counter. Thanks to his really high health and healing items, we had to put him to sleep multiple times and use quite a few slashes before he actually went down, and we did end up taking some damage in the process. Next he sent out his own Vigoroth, so I took the chance to heal a little bit with Slack Off, while getting a few slashes in when we can. It didn't take too long before he went down, and last was his Linoon, who we ended up one-shotting with a critical slash, making us the superior normal trainer. After that, we have a
Dry bread is in the series. Dry bread 1. Just I don't know why, but Pokemon Emerald in this version of Pokemon Emerald, Pokemon just went by and they love double trainer battles in Pokemon Emerald. There's a lot. I have played it. There's a lot, and it really annoys me.
long hike north to the flying gym. I remember that she has a Skarmory, so that might cause issues, what with it being the first steel type that we actually have to fight. There's pretty much no way that we'll have a slacking for that fight unless we grind a lot, so I'll just have to get the levels I can on my way to prepare. Oh, and of course, on my way is the last rival fight that's required, but it's always super easy. Let's go to the flying gym. Alright, this attempt was insane. First, Swablu was a one-shot with Slash, and second was Tropius. Right away she used Sunny Day, so we encored it to waste her time and got a yawn in. Thanks to that, we easily took her down before she woke up. Third was Pelipper, and she likes to spam Protect, so we ended up wasting a lot of power points before we could deal any damage. By the time we finally hit Yawn, we got confused, so I just switched to Linoon and started headbutting. Right before the feint though, she used a potion, so it took a few more hits. All she did was miss Supersonic some more though, so we were good. Next is the real threat though, Skarmory. Right away, we have Vigoroth Yawn to put it to sleep, and we start slashing, while using Slack Off to stay healthy when we need it. Steel Wing doesn't do incredible damage to us, but it can raise her defense, and in fact she ended up doing just that. We almost got her to faint, but she just used a Hyper Potion to stay healthy. Things got worse when shortly after we got Sand attacked, so I had to switch to our lower leveled Vigoroth. We landed a few weak hits of strength before getting Sand attacked again, so we yawned and switched back out to Linoon. Right away though, we got crit by Steel Wing and she raised her defense. As she fell asleep from the yawn, we tried to start hitting Tail Whips, but almost right away she woke up and fainted us. Back out to the original Vigoroth, and we hit Yawn, but were forced to switch yet again after a Sand attack, so it's out to Loudred, who couldn't do anything more than a sliver in damage. We managed to cause confusion, but it really didn't save us for long and Loudred went down. Back out to Vigoroth again, and it's right back to yawning, then getting Sand attacked and needing to switch. Once again, we just try to juggle Yawn, Slack Off, and switching between our Vigoroths when we get hit by Sand attack. The lower level Vigoroth didn't last long, so it's out to our original again. We actually ended up running out of Yawns at this point, making it much harder. I was hoping for a critical slash to win us the fight, but instead we just started getting hit by Sand attack. We brought her all the way down into red health, finally finished her off, then I remembered that Winona still has an Altaria. We tried healing with...
Dragon Dance. It raises in some multiple stats.
Slack Off and slashing, but we missed thanks to Sand attack, ran out of slashes, and lost. We were so close. I decided to come back just a few levels higher and with a new strategy. This time against Skarmory, I put him to sleep and swapped out to Linoon early to tail whip as much as I could. It worked out great with us getting 6 tail whips in right on the first sleep. As soon as we finished getting all 6, we switched into Vigoroth, who just ended up getting crit and sand attacked, but not before getting a yawn in. We switched to Linoon, who took a hit before the sleep kicked in, and easily headbutt Skarmory down while she slept. Even with 6 tail whips, the damage we were dealing wasn't amazing. Last was Altaria, so we yawned right away. She spammed out some dragon dances, but our slashes did pretty decent damage. We went down to red health, but finally managed to win in the process. After that brutal fight, let's take another quick look at our team. Of the ones that we're really actually going to use here, we have 2 Vigoroths, Loudred, and Linoon.
How about
Loudred is
How about Zangoose? Like, you can use Zangoose, which is good. You can. How about just replace one of the Vigoroths for Lightning and for Zangoose? It's great. I never tried it, but it seems good.
Super underleveled and has terrible moves, but I think he could have some use once we level him up more. And I'm starting to feel like Linoon is falling behind until he saved us with Tail Whip in that last fight. Loudred will learn Screech at level 37 though, so that might totally replace our need for Tail Whip. Our main Vigoroth is still our strongest hitter right now, although the backup Vigoroth will take the lead once he evolves. Overall, we're looking okay, but we still need to fight a lot of trainers. The next gym is the Psychic Gym, so it's almost always hard. But in this run, where we only have normal moves, it'll be extra tough, considering half of their team is Rock type. Thankfully, there are a lot of trainers between us and them, so let's get fighting. Alright, it's Maxi time. Vigoroth is first, but we're not going to deal great damage with Slash, mostly thanks to his Intimidate ability. He didn't hit us very hard in return though, so we didn't take much damage before he went down. For Crobat, we switched out to the weaker Vigoroth to remove our attack debuff, and we basically went for the same tactic. Yawn, Slack Off, and Slash. Thanks to a couple of crits, we actually got a pretty easy knockout. Last was Camerupt, but he wasted his time spamming Amnesia to prepare for all those special attacks that I'm not using. We took an Earthquake but hung on with 4 health to get the knockout. After that was the always brutal Psychic Gym. This wasn't even remotely close though. We tried over and over and we couldn't get a single one of them to faint. We couldn't even get to our rock types, and that's with
Can you like level up? Like, this is not luck. You level up, you grind. How about get 5 Zigzagoons, because they have a pickup ability featured.
Insanely good sleep luck. Our whole team are lower levels than theirs, and our handicap is pretty huge. Naturally, we have to grind. Grinding here is horrible, and I'm sure that you full well knew that. We have to evolve one of our Vigoroths and get at least enough levels on the rest of the team for them to survive the battle. I'm thinking if we can get our 4 good Pokemon up to level 40 each, then maybe that'll be enough? Hey, while I'm grinding, could you do me a favor and watch a video from my friend Mel? She recently got her channel deleted by a YouTube bot by mistake, and she's had to deal with months of YouTube only replying to her with more bots. Like in her forum post about how the YouTube bot messed up with her channel, the YouTube forum bots deleted her post thinking it was a duplicate. Then the YouTube Twitter bot replied to her completely misunderstanding what was even being said. It's insane, and I'm sure it doesn't surprise me.
This is what I hate about, not hate, but dislike about YouTube, is that they have, they do things that completely doesn't make any sense.
As any of you, because you've probably seen this happen with other YouTubers. Click the link in the card if you want to see her vlog about this. I'll put it in the description too. It's been months and nothing's been fixed, so I'm just doing what I can to put some attention on it. It's depressing, but YouTube doesn't fix anything unless there's a public outcry about it. Trust me, we've tried to go through all of the normal avenues. I try again a bunch more times at level 40. This battle is super random, so it really...
This is what... Help her, please. It's been months. But we gotta support her all the way.
It does take quite a few tries to know how possible things are, and although we're able to take down their first 2 Pokemon, it wasn't without tons of trouble. In the end, we went down mostly because they only need to use Calm Mind once before their Psychics just demolish us. Slacking is probably ready for return now, so I'll give that to him. Get a few more levels, and just see if that works. Okay, we're back a few levels later. This time between Slash and Return, we actually took down Playdoll before he could let off a single attack, and Zatu was using Calm Mind, so we didn't get taken down just on the first round. In fact, it seems like they both like to spam Calm Mind on this round, and although it's nice to not get hit early, I also know it doesn't take many Calm Minds before they can one-shot us with Sight. And of course, that's exactly what happened to Vigoroth not long later. I thought it could be over because Zatu healed with a Hyper Potion and took out Exploud pretty soon after. Thankfully, Slacking's return hit incredibly hard, so he was able to take down Zatu. After that, we had a numbers advantage on Soul Rock, so it didn't last much longer. This fight's never easy. Hey, it's time for the only Archie fight. Mighty Anna went down pretty quickly from Return, and second was Crobat, so I sent in Vigoroth. Right away, we were able to almost get a one-shot with a crit, but he healed with a Super Potion. It's fine. We're faster, so we still took him out no problem. Last was Sharpedo, and we almost took him out right away too, but then he hit Swagger, we hit ourselves in Confusion, he slashed us, and then we finally got the last hit. We fainted through Rough Skin at the same time, but we still have a full party, so we win. Time for the last gym, the Water Gym. Love Disc was a one-shot with Return, and it's out to Vigoroth for Whiscash. One crit almost took it down, and his Earthquake wasn't that dangerous.
Oh no,
Hyper Potion, but
Kingdra.
we couldn't follow up with a knockout since we only deal enough damage on the crit. Thanks to that, we took another hit before we took him down. Out to Slacking to one-shot Celio with Return, and then it's out to Linoon for Crawdaunt. We did all-right damage, and Crab Hammer was really messing us up, but then we got a flinch, so he went down soon after. Last was Kingdra, so it's out to Slacking for the big return. He hung on though and used Ice Beam and Rest, plus a Berry to wake
Rest and double team.
himself up instantly. It didn't matter though, because our very next return crit for a one-shot. Okay, one last fight before the Elite Four, and it's Wally. Alteria's first, and we nearly one-shot it with Return. It actually worked great, since that got him to use a full restore, and even with all of our missed turns from Truant, he still only hit us once, and it didn't do much. Delcatty went up against Vigoroth, but hardly managed to do any damage before going down, and for Magneton it's back out to Slacking to brute force it. We lost some defense and got confused, but thankfully didn't hit ourselves, so we still got an easy knockout. Roselia's next, so I had Linoon spam Headbutt for a shockingly easy knockout, and last was Gardevoir, who only let off a Future Sight before going down in a couple of headbutts. Wally is always so easy. Alright, we're right before the Elite Four, so let's take a look at our stats a bit. It's not too bad for a little four-man team, and I'm really happy with the moves on Vigoroth and Slacking, but I really don't think we're ready for Phoebe. She's got 5 Ghost-type Pokemon, so we'd have to switch it
Foresight
into Linoon for Odor Sleuth pretty often. I know that they can't use some of their Ghost moves on us, but they also still have strong moves of other types, so we should at least grind until we match her level. So, about 50. Let me tell you, this grind is slow. Our Pokemon hit reasonably hard considering their moves aren't that powerful, but the best place to grind also has tons of Steel types, and we always have to run away from them. Seriously, Steel types are just about brick walls. We have to resort to Tail Whip and Screech every time a trainer has one. It has me worried that I won't have enough time to beat Steven Stone in the post-game fight. I mean, he starts with Skarmory, and the last one that I fought was the single hardest to take down Pokemon we fought in this whole challenge, so I'm not really feeling good about my chances. That's later, though. I have to worry about the Elite Four first. Make your final guesses on if we can win this or not.
You're gonna win this.
First,
You will win this. You just need to outspeed and be strong. Yeah.
is Drac Trainer Sydney.
Well, it kind of makes sense. Because Dracula, which is associated with Jark.
Awesome. I can't spell. Mighty N is first, so of course we have less attack due to Intimidate, and thanks to that, we didn't get a one-shot. As soon as we got Sand attacked, I switched to Vigoroth, and they used a full restore. Thankfully, we don't lose attack just switching in to deal with Mighty Anna, so although we lost tons of health to some crunches, we did get the knockout. Shiftry ended up being a one-shot with Slacking's return, and out to Linoon to deal with Cacturn. Right away, Headbutt made me flinch, so we never took a hit. Crawdaunt managed to hang on with a Sliver from Return and used another full restore, but our follow-up return took him down, so he must have been in a damage range. Last was Absol, so I had Linoon headbutt our way to victory. Thanks to a crit, it was pretty fast. Second is Ghost Trainer Phoebe. Right away, it's her Dusclops that spams Protect and has the ability Pressure, so we use extra power points against her. We have to use Odor Sleuth from Linoon on each individual ghost Pokemon before our normal moves can hit them. As soon as she confuses us, I switched to Slacking and spammed Return until one finally got past Protect, getting us a knockout. For the first Bayonet, we just spammed Headbutt after Odor Sleuth, and it actually worked out, getting a bunch of flinches. For Sableye, we hit Odor Sleuth, then switched right out to Slacking so we could hit it with Return. Sableye got a few double teams in, but we still landed our first hit for a one-shot. For the second Bayonet, we hit Odor Sleuth, but lost some health to Psychic, so I played it safe and tagged out to Slacking for the one-shot with Return. Last was our final Dusclops, but right after we hit Odor Sleuth, we got one-shot by a critical Earthquake. I sent Slacking in right after, and we did great damage with Return, just to end up taking quite a bit of damage from a critical Ice Beam soon after. We still won with Return in the end, though. I'm really happy that Linoon was able to hang on as long as he did. Third is Ice Trainer Glacia. Celia was first, and on the first round he made it Hail, so I decided to Encore it. We also put her to sleep, but our slashes really weren't doing a ton of damage, so she ended up using a full restore before I could finish her off. Hilariously enough, as soon as the Hail ended and the Encore was over, she just used Hail again anyway, so we didn't really take too much damage. Out to Slacking, and we actually don't one-shot Glalie thanks to being the same level. We ended up taking an absolute beating before we could land another hit, though, and Slacking actually fainted. That's really bad. Vigoroth was able to finish it, but she still has most of her team. For the second Celio, we just put her to sleep and Encore her Hail like the first one. Hail—
No, I think revives are allowed. I think revives are allowed.
Does chip away at us, but we have Slack off, so it's not that hard to heal. Hail is all she got to use during the whole exchange. Next up is another Glalie again, and I went to put her to sleep, but she used Explode, so there goes Vigoroth. Last is Walrein, so I have Linoon start headbutting. It wasn't doing much, but Walrein was just using sheer cold over and over, missing each time. We got her down to low health, but we got frozen off Ice Beam and finished. All we have left is Explode. Right away, we lose tons of health to Ice Beam and miss our own Hyper Beam. Such a bad first round. On the second round, we got dropped to only 10 health before landing our Hyper Beam for the knockout. So thankful that Hyper Beam only has a recharge if you hit with it. Fourth is Drake and Trainer Drake.
I think there's revives. Like max revives.
Starts with the Shelgon, who loves to spam Protect. He doesn't really hit that hard with Rock Tomb, but his Dragon Claw is dangerous enough that we have to use Slack Off to stay healthy. Because of that, and his full restore, we ended up fainting to Double Edge before we ever took him down. So, that's a terrible start. Linoon was able to finish it by flinching him with Headbutt, then finishing it off. Altaria took massive damage off a return from Slacking, then crit us with a Double Edge to bring herself into red health, then hit a Dragon Breath that fully paralyzed us, and we only got the knockout because she took more damage and recoil off another Double Edge. I'm not feeling confident. Well, Kingdra's out, and we're out of Headbutts, so I just used Covet, a pretty underwhelming normal move. Kingdra just ended up buffing a bunch, then taking us out. Explode managed to take Kingdra out with a couple of stomps, but it was only thanks to a crit. As Flygon came out, we had almost no health left, and our only backup was a nearly fainted and paralyzed Slacking, so we lost. We didn't even make it to Salamence, so we're not even close to ready. Okay, we're back, with a few more levels on everybody. This time, Shelgon deals much less damage because we never give him a chance to spam Dragon Claw, although he does waste tons of time with Protect. And Altaria just ended up being a one-shot with Return. This time with Kingdra, we spammed Screech with Explode and managed to get 2 in before nailing a one-shot with Hyper Beam. Flygon is a one-shot with Return, and then it's out to Explode for Salamence. Our attack is down due to Intimidate, but we're mostly just sending in Explode to use Screech. We get a few in, but obviously faint in the process. As soon as we do, though, we switch back into Slacking and hit Return for the one-shot. Finally, Pokemon Champion Wallace. Right off the bat, it's Whale Lord, and we hit a Return to bring him all the way to a Sliver. Amazingly, he was using a Water Spout, and its damage is based off his current health, so even with his crit, he did almost nothing. He healed after, but we just took him out right after for an awesome start to the fight. Out to Linoon for Tentacruel, since I don't mind if she gets hit with Toxic. We totally lucked out, though, and caused flinches on the first 2 headbutts, so we took him down without getting hit. Ludicolo's next, but he went down to 1 return, and next up is Whiscash, so I have Vigoroth start slashing. Surf hurts quite a bit, but we put him to sleep pretty easily once I realized it won't be a 2-slash fight. Once he fell asleep, we healed back up with Slack Off, then crit slash to almost take him down, but he woke up fast, hit us again, then healed.
He will
After
win
that, I
this.
tried to keep
He will
slashing
win.
him till he went down, but he ended up using like a
Ah.
full restore. In the end, we
Okay.
went down to an earthquake and had to finish it by having Linoon headbutted, but not before taking a hyper beam. Back into slacking to hit return on Water Onyx, but thanks to the attack drop from Intimidate, we didn't even bring him to red health. All he did was use Dragon Dance 3 times though, so we easily finished him off. I have no idea why he did that, to be honest. Last was Melodic, so I sent in Exploud to open with Screech. Thanks to him wasting time with Toxic, we actually got 2 Screeches in before going down. After that, we sent in Slacking to follow up with Return for the one-shot, beating the Pokemon champion. With that victory...
I knew it. He will win this. You guys is on luck. I really believe in him, you know. It's on luck.
We get into the Hall of Fame and win the run, but you know it's not over yet.
I think only with 4 Pokemon, and then after he has to beat Steven Stone. I don't get it why he uses his steel types. And even if half of his team is not steel.
I don't really have a ton of time to grind up the team for the post-game Stephen Stone fight, and I'm not really feeling confident considering 5 of the 6 Pokemon resist normal type, and his whole team are higher levels than us by a lot. Okay, how about I spend the next hour or so grinding, then I give it a few tries and we just see how it goes. So right off the bat, I tried to hit Skarmory with Return, but it hardly did anything, and shortly after we got hit with Toxic. So this is a rough start. I switched to Exploud to go for Screech and managed to get 2 in before we had to switch back to Slacking. Although no one source of damage is huge, the Spikes, Poison, and Steel Wing all come together to really take their toll. Still, one return did the job, out to Vigoroth for Armaldo, and we yawned. Then he took out tons of our health with Ancient Power. We healed, and he did it again, so as he fell asleep, we had to heal more. Once I slashed and did almost nothing, though, I knew that this was probably over. We started throwing our whole team at him one by one just for them to keep getting taken down easily. I'm gonna try some more, but I think we're stuck at the moment. Here's a bunch of footage of me just trying this fight over and over. I wish I could spend more time grinding for this, but if I don't wrap this up soon, I'm gonna start making the challenge runs late. You know, I've had a lot of people say that I should use a rare candy cheat if we run into this kind of situation, but I've always avoided that because, well, it's literally cheating, you know? I mean, it's not against the rules, technically, I set the rules, but it feels like it's the kind of thing you need to ask permission for, you know what I mean? Lots of people do ask me to do it, though, at least if it's for the post-game fight. I get it. The general argument people use is that it doesn't decrease the difficulty of the challenge. All it does is cut down on the grinding time, so I have more time to make these. It makes sense, but I'd still rather ask you guys. Do you want me to do that? Let me know in the comments, but for today, I'll just leave this one alone. That was still a real...
All the way, because he has to do this every week, like once a week, to do these challenges. So I think that's it. I really liked it. It's really cool. It's really interesting. And I think it's because it's all about strategy and luck based. I'm glad that he made it this far to until the Steven fight, which he lost to a few times, but still, you know, I liked it. So I think this is it for this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys in the next episode. I'll actually, by the time I'm recording this, it's December 30th. So again, by the time I'm recording this, is December 30th. So I'm gonna post this by January. So this is gonna be my first video for 2022. So again, I hope you enjoy this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and see you guys in the next episode. Bye.